Thank you.
Transformational. Oh, so amazing. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. All
Thank,
right.
thank you, Chelsea.
Oh, of course, Michael. Thank you guys. That was so beautiful. Wow. This was a day. I gotta say, the cosmic cooking one just like took us off into a new dimension, and then all these talks have just been amazing. Really, like I love the community involvement here. I feel like we're getting so deep with each other. This is amazing. I'm crying on camera over here, all the things. Oh man. Okay. So we have Bryan Spunt here, the founder and the CEO of Seek Discomfort. I see you out there, Bryan. It's amazing having you. It's so good having you here officially. So Bryan is a serial entrepreneur with a passion for living a balanced and full life. He finds the same level of commitment to his health, his hobbies, his relationships, and personal growth as he does to his business, and his commitment to Seek Discomfort and all of the ventures that he does. He sits on an advisory board of PopSockets, and he's the co-founder and chief smiles officer at the Big Smiles program. So Bryan, thank you so much for being here. This is amazing. We're so excited to have you. You have the full floor.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Chelsea. And a big thanks to you and Jessica and the whole team and everyone for putting this on. I'm really grateful to be a part of this and to give a talk of, what I'm doing in the world and in my life right now, and how I think our philosophy can help others. So yeah, like Chelsea said, my name is Bryan Spunt. I'm the CEO of Seek Discomfort. Seek Discomfort is a lifestyle clothing brand in a community of dreamers that believe the best things in life are outside your comfort zone. So I put together, because my mind is more in the entrepreneurial business realm, I put together a bit of a presentation for you guys. So I'm going to run through that. I have some videos to play as well. And then we can jump in on questions at the end. But if anyone has questions or wants me to elaborate on anything while I'm going through it, just feel free to unmute and chime in. So let me share my screen here. Can everyone see that? Cool. So I will jump in. Today, I'm going to be talking about turning fear into fuel. This is a chat about seeking discomfort. And the photo on the left here is this little dot in the clouds is one of my business partners, Amar. And he's actually jumping out of a helicopter on a bungee jump. And this was something that they did with Will Smith over the Grand Canyon. So we'll get into that a little bit more further on, but that just sets the stage of a little bit of who I'm working with in the business world. So this is a little bit of a roadmap of kind of what I'm going to talk about today. So I'm going to start with the spark, what started all of this. I'm going to talk about Yes Theory and Seek Discomfort. Yes Theory is the founder of the brand Seek Discomfort. They're a YouTube channel that has over 6 million subscribers, and it's all about saying yes in life, saying yes to new experiences, meeting new people, trying new things, and going after what you believe in life. Number 3, I'm going to talk a little bit about how I fit into this whole equation. Number 4, I'm going to talk about our philosophy and our goals with Seek Discomfort. Number 5, I'm going to talk about what's the point of all of this. And then number 6, I'm going to talk about what we came here to talk about, turning your fear into fuel. So first, to start with the spark, these 4 guys right here, as you can see, were Yes Theory's inspiration. These 4 guys made up what was called the Buried Life. It was started in a garage in Canada. And it was essentially these guys just felt kind of stagnant in their life, and they felt like they weren't getting the most out of it. And they wanted to answer this question, what do you want to do before you die? And 10 years later, they're still on their mission to continue to ask the world that question. And what they did was they created a bucket list of over 100 things that they wanted to do in their life. And what's really cool about what they did here is they kind of developed this new way of living. It was less about the 9 to 5 and the structure and the comfort zone, and more about the experiences that we could have in life. And they came up with this concept of persistence, right? They could get 1,000 no's, but as long as they got one yes, incredible things could happen. So here are some of the things that they did that they accomplished through kind of that mentality. So number 95, they got to play basketball with Obama at the White House. 124, they got to be on the Oprah show. And number 50, I think this one's funny, they went streaking on a field and got away. By the looks of that photo, doesn't look like he got away. Looks like he's about to get decked, but I don't know. So one of the founders of The Buried Life, this guy here, Ben Nemtin, he is a mentor to my business partners, Yes Theory. And he goes around the world and talks about this idea of the ripple effect. And when he started The Buried Life and they put together this bucket list with their friends, they thought they were acting pretty selfishly because they were going after things in life that they believed in, that they wanted to do. But what they come to realize over doing this over the years is that by following their dreams in life, they were actually inspiring others to follow their dreams. And so they realized it wasn't selfish at all what they were doing. And so the product of that ripple effect, one of many, I'm sure, was the birth of Yes Theory. So my business partners here, Matt, Amar, and Thomas in the center, they were inspired by The Buried Life and they created Project 30 back in 2015. The idea here was 30 videos in 30 days with 30 bucket list items of things that they've always wanted to do and things that they've never done before. So I'm going to show you a quick video of, this was Yes Theory's first YouTube video, and I think it's pretty cool to see kind of where their head was at when they started this whole project.
Hey guys, it's been a while. So after graduating from university, I wanted to do something different. So I made a list of 30 things I have never done before to push myself out of my comfort zone. And with the help of some friends, I decided to cross off every single item on this list in 30 days and share every story every day as we go. My name is Thomas, and these are my friends. Meet Andrea. We call him Dre, our Turkish producer. He's been making films for 9 years and is a man who is down for absolutely anything. Matt, a fellow entrepreneur. He owns his own clothing company and is my right-hand man. Nick, my roommate, is an actor and self-proclaimed hipster, also my best friend. And finally, Amar, our bucket list killing Egyptian friend who's got a record it all. We've set ourselves up to accomplish one of the biggest challenges of our lives. We're aiming to make 30 videos in 30 days, doing 30 things I always wanted to do. Welcome to Project 30.
So that was kind of the start of everything for Yes Theory. And like I said, it was the ripple effect of someone else following their dreams. They then were inspired to go after theirs. And so flash forward 5 years, they've made hundreds and hundreds of videos. They've collected almost 700 million views on YouTube. To put that in perspective, that's more than double the population of the US. And they renamed themselves Yes Theory. So these are just a few of the things that they've done that, again, when you push yourself outside of your comfort zone, the things that can be accomplished are pretty incredible. So this photo up here, they challenged Will Smith on YouTube and asked him to jump out of a helicopter attached to a bungee cord over the Grand Canyon. And Will Smith actually accepted. So they did this, I believe, on Will Smith's birthday. It was really incredible to watch. The second one, I don't know how many of you guys are familiar with Wim Hof, but he does incredible breathing exercises, and he, through that, can accomplish amazing things. Like here they are in the snow, actually hiking a mountain in nothing but trunks or their boxers. So they've also met people like the Dalai Lama, and they've really, through this idea of just going after the things they believe in, have been able to accomplish and experience rather so much in life. And so one thing that they found as they were on this path of seeking discomfort is that they developed a new family. And so they really found this global community of people who all believed the same thing that they believed, that there was something more to life. It wasn't about Similar to this community that we have here on Zoom, you know, everyone here is really searching for something special. They're not just falling into patterns that other people believe they should be following. And so the community that has developed around Yes Theory and around Seek Discomfort is something that inspires me every day. It's the reason why I gravitated towards working with Seek Discomfort. So I have another quick video that I think just shows and paints a picture of the community that we've built here.
So I've made it a point for a big part of my life to attack anything that I'm scared of. And when Yes Theory challenged me to heli bungee, my heart jumped. And I don't like that. As soon as my heart jumps, I'm in. Now I gotta do it. How's everyone going?
Zach is just setting the back end of the pledge page that's going to have a counter to do like real time how many people are actually signing up and pledging the run.
I think even if it's not around the world, at least for those amount of people that do it, it will be valuable.
There's just something about that many people in all corners of the world doing the exact same act at the exact same time, knowing that they're doing it together. But because it's so big and it's so fast, never done anything like this before, so we have no gauge of whether this will actually work or not. We're telling people in this video that tomorrow this is happening. This is for everyone seeking the truth. Let's see what happens. 24,901 miles. That's how many miles it takes to go around the planet. So we challenge you to run with us and be a part of completing one full circle around the planet. Record this, let me. I'm gonna check for the first time. It's actually been 24 hours since we posted the challenge yesterday. Last time I checked was last night, and we were at 17,000. This is the first time I actually checked today. 27,000 people pledged to run 1 mile each. I've only decided that I was going to check again once the 24 hours are over because I was a bit anxious that we wouldn't hit it, but this is unreal. I guess let's get to running.
My name is Anis. I'm from Tunisia.
My name is Yasmin Bedouin. I live in Charlotte, North Carolina.
Ontario, Canada.
Frankfurt, Germany.
Indonesia.
In Kuwait. I'm from Switzerland.
Jordan. Cary, Mississippi. From Lyon in France. I'm in Vienna. From Mexico City.
I'm from Ahmedabad, India.
In Nottingham, England.
New York City.
All the way from Egypt.
I'm from Cape Town, South Africa.
And from Norway.
Hey, from Cork in Ireland. This is our 1 mile run. Mindfulness is our jump.
My jump is to be happy with who you are, not care about what other people think about you.
My jump is to actually start running. In February, I started losing vision in my left eye. I find out I had a tumor that was pushing on the optic nerve. Basically having brain surgery. I wasn't allowed to run for 3 months. This is the week I start fixing that.
My jump is accepting the way that in the way that I talk. I'm so grateful to be part of something this big.
Is to run my body every day. Living in the current present moment and not worrying about the past or the future.
My jump is being honest with myself and with others about my mental health. How can I ever expect to work through the depression, work through the anxiety, if not honest with myself and with others? Taking my ideas and making them into reality is going back home and starting a tech company to prove that African talent can also be part of the innovation.
Repairing my broken relationship with my brother. What we did.
Finding my place in life because I've been struggling with that recently.
So follow my dream, be the best chef this city has ever seen.
To ask someone I love to go on that.
To love myself.
Taking action. I'm petrified of
To
it.
become who I want to be instead of what other people want me to be.
It's breaking addiction.
It's to help human children.
It's to spend more time with my family.
Staying healthy so I can have some further run with this guy.
Living more, worrying less.
Say yes to love again after all the heartbreak.
To overcome my fear of not being good enough, getting over my artificial disease, and hoping to one day be an Olympic runner.
We did it. With over 26,000 of you guys who went running on Friday, August 31st, we successfully completed one full orbit around the planet, 1 mile at a time. In just 24 hours, the positive intentions and energy put out by all of you participated took over the world and created a unique force that united us all by a single action and a simple yes. As we all declared our gems, we've spoken them into existence, and the journey to get there has just begun. But what a blessing to have such a motivated community to start such a journey with. We've never been more honored and proud to be part of this movement, and can't wait to manifest the power that social media has to offer to take what we've started to new horizons.
So I think that's a good example of, by following their dream and going after this and seeking discomfort, they've built this incredible community of people around them. And I'll talk more about community later in my talk, but as I'm sure you all know by what you're doing here at the Emergence Festival, community is so important. And it's something that you can lift each other up, and you can be there for each other when you're not in a good place. And when you have fear and you have discomfort and you have doubt, to have people around you that believe what you believe and can help you get through is unlike anything else. So then we get to May 13th, 2018. The S Theory guys had been doing this now for 3 years, and they decided, you know what, it's time to bring this to the world. We want to develop something that, you know, we have this community, how do we connect them more? And so you can see here, this is our Seek Discomfort flag all over the world. This is actually one of our sponsored seekers. He did an Ironman triathlon in Antarctica, and just some incredible things here to see all of these people connecting over this idea. So real quick, I just want to give you a brief background on myself and my Seek Discomfort story and how I fit into this whole equation. So I grew up in Los Angeles. I went to school in Boulder, Colorado to study business strategy and entrepreneurship. While I was there, I randomly ended up in a philosophy class. I was just interested in the topic. And I was sitting in class one day, and my philosophy professor, he takes out a pop socket. And it's that, I don't know if everyone knows, it's the thing on the back of your phone, the circle that pops in and out. He takes out one of those and he starts messing around with it in class. And so I approach him after class. Yep, there we go. I think Jessica just pulled hers out. I approached him after class and I just asked him, you know, what was that? And he said, it's a pop socket. This is my first prototype from the factory. And I just filed a ton of intellectual property. I'm trying to start a business. And so, you know, I was studying entrepreneurship at school, and I was really hungry to get involved in the real world of business. And I had actually been working on a patent at the time. And so I was talking to him about patents, and I asked him, you know, in a Seek Discomfort moment, what do you need help with? And he told me he needed help with social media marketing and graphic design. And so I told him I was the guy to do that job, even though I had no experience with either of those roles. And so I remember going to Barnes & Noble after he gave me the job, and I picked up Social Media Marketing for Dummies and Graphic Design 101 and just started thumbing through the books and trying to teach myself how I was going to add value at this company. And so, you know, I was there at, is someone talking or? No, we're good. Okay, cool. So yeah, I was interning at Pop Sockets, and it was really incredible. I was there, and you know, I hit a point where I felt overwhelmed, like I was burning the candle at both ends. I was working at Pop Sockets, I was going to the business school, and I was actually the president of my fraternity at the time. And I remember I called my dad, and my dad's a huge mentor in my life. He's taught me everything I know. He really was the one, if we come full circle, who originally taught me this idea of saying yes, meeting new people, trying new things. So I call my dad and I say, hey, I really think there's a lot of potential with Pop Sockets, but I don't know what to do. I'm feeling overwhelmed. And he asked me the question, have you ever thought about taking some time off of school? So I immediately hung up the phone. I called my counselor and told her I was dropping out of school. And that was another moment in my life where, you know, it might've been a quick impulse to call and make that decision, but there was a lot of discomfort in the fact of dropping out of school when all of my friends were continuing to be in college and get their degree, to go follow this passion I had for this little circle on the back of a phone that hadn't done $1 in sales. And so I ended up negotiating to come on full time with the company in 2014. I told him, basically, you don't need to pay me anything. I just want some equity in the company because I believe in what we're doing here. And flash forward to now, PopSockets has gone on to sell over 150 million units. And I've learned more from that business than I ever could have learned at business school. So once I spent that year at PopSockets, I got an opportunity to work there full time, but something didn't quite feel right. And I think that was another big Seek Discomfort moment in my life, where I had, an incredible job opportunity at a company that was growing, that I owned equity in, with good people in Boulder, Colorado, but it just didn't feel right. And so I ended up leaving and coming back home to LA. And while I was finishing up school online in LA in 2016, I was meeting with a friend of mine, and we were talking about how we wanted to have more purpose and fulfillment in life, and how we wanted to give back. And my friend was actually studying to get her master's in art therapy at the time. And I had been volunteering with a nonprofit called the Chase Foundation since I was young, and they work with children's hospitals in Los Angeles. And so me and my friend put our heads together, and we came up with what is now the Big Smiles program. The Big Smiles program is a therapeutic art program that works with children's hospitals in Los Angeles. We bring canvases, paints, stickers, stamps, squeegees, music, big tarps, and volunteers into the hospital and paint with the kids and their families. And we've gone on to do over a couple hundred hours of volunteering in the hospital. It's been something that's been such a light in my life, and something that has made me really grateful for my own health and all of the blessings that I have in my life. From Big Smiles program, bills needed to be paid, so I needed to do Big Smiles on the side while I figured out what was next in my entrepreneurial and business career. So going into 2016, I jumped in with a company called Elwood Clothing, which is a men's fashion brand. Those crazy red plaid pants that I'm wearing in that photo in Coachella, I designed those with our team and produced them, and they were part of our line. And Elwood Clothing was really great for me because it was everything that was good about PopSockets, but it was home in LA, where I could be close to my family, I could surf, and also it brought into my life clothing, which is another huge passion of mine. And I learned how to design clothing there, and I learned everything about apparel. And so I spent 3 years at Elwood running their e-commerce division, and I hit that point again. I think Chelsea, when you kicked off the Emergence Festival, you talked about the golden handcuffs, I believe. And I had on those same golden handcuffs. I was at this company, I had full autonomy, I was making great money, it was with my friends, and it was clothing, and everything was right, but I just had this feeling that I wanted something more. And so I ended up leaving. And I remember I was talking to my boss when I was leaving, and he wanted to ask me, what's your plan? And at the time I told him, I don't really have a full plan, but I'm gonna wake up, I'm gonna surf, and I'm gonna do yoga, and I'm gonna figure it out from there. And so that was my plan. And luckily, I had been friends with the Yes Theory guys for quite some time. I actually met them coincidentally through the Big Smiles program. The first time I met the Yes Theory guys, they volunteered in the hospital with me and my business partner. And so I sat down with the Yes Theory guys and told them that I was looking for everything that I had at Elwood Clothing, but something with a little bit more meaning, a little bit more purpose, a little bit more to give to the world, and in comes Seek Discomfort. And so I got on the team in 2019 at Seek Discomfort as the CEO, and I've been there ever since, helping build this business. And if I kind of look back at that timeline, if I look back at this timeline here, I think like these moments in my life where I pushed through discomfort, those times when I took the leap of faith into the unknown, these are the times that led to the most growth in my life. And these are the moments that end up defining my life story and the things that I'm most proud of. And so really I have a deep belief in this Seek Discomfort philosophy, which I want to now jump into. So the Seek Discomfort philosophy, we boiled it down into this kind of simple statement here. The best things in life and the most meaningful connections and relationships exist outside of your comfort zone. I want to read that one more time just so it can sink in. The best things in life and the most meaningful connections and relationships exist outside of your comfort zone. And at Seek Discomfort and Yes Theory, we truly believe that this philosophy has the power to change the world. So our goals at Seek Discomfort are kind of threefold. We want to create world-class products that serve as daily reminders of the philosophy. So like this sweatshirt that I'm wearing right now that says Seek Discomfort on the front. If I'm in a moment of fear or anxiety or discomfort, I can look to this sweatshirt and remember this commitment I've made to living life differently, to going after the things that I believe in. I also have, for example, like Seek Discomfort stickers on my surfboard. So if I'm pushing myself while I'm surfing, it's a reminder that I'm in the right place. Number two, we really want to connect like-minded seekers around the globe. So as you saw in that video of all of those people running those miles to be a part of the bigger community, we want people to be heard. We want people to feel like they have a place to call home, even if it's not a physical space, right? It's just other people that understand them and accept them. And then number three, we want to create the world's largest and most diverse family. And I actually have a cool story about how all of these things manifested in the real world. So one day I was on my way to yoga and I was wearing a Seek Discomfort hoodie, very similar to this, with big Seek Discomfort on the front so I could connect with people. And I was late for class and I was running across the street and I hear from across the street, hey, Seek Discomfort. And I look over and I see this guy, Johnny. And I walk up, I don't know Johnny, but I can tell that we're family because again, he's part of the Seek Discomfort family. And so I walk up, I give Johnny a big hug, and Johnny pulls up his sleeve. He's got a Seek Discomfort tattoo. Flash forward to now, Johnny is the director of operations at Seek Discomfort. So these are the types of interactions and family that we're trying to make where you could see a literal stranger on the street, walk up, give him a big hug, and know that you're in a safe place. And so that's really what I'm trying to do here with Seek Discomfort. I want to talk a little bit about the spectrum because, you know, a lot of times I'll show photos or videos of, like I did the helicopter or the bungee jump or the skydive. But there's the reason why I believe the philosophy is so powerful is because it can be implemented in so many different areas of your life. So if you look at, I pulled two Yes Theory videos as an example. One on one side of the spectrum, you know, they went and they asked Uber drivers on the spot to go skydiving. The other side of the spectrum, this was obviously before the pandemic, they got strangers just to tell another stranger that they loved them and gave them a hug. And so when you look at all of these different areas, right, there's one side which is the skydiving, the thrill seeking, the adventure, but the other side is the vulnerability, the human connection, the love over fear, the talking to a stranger, the having the vulnerable conversation with someone that you love, all of those things. And so the philosophy can be implemented in so many different areas of your life. And that's what I think I like so much about it. You know, we've had people reach out to us in our community. And, you know, one person that always sticks in my mind, they bought one of our Seek Discomfort flags and they put it above their bed. And for them, seeking discomfort is just getting out of bed in the morning when they're in a low place in their life. So I think understanding how many different places this can impact your life can really bring about the greatness of the philosophy. So now I want to get into like, what's the point of all of this? Why are we doing this? Why are we seeking discomfort? So I want to talk about number one, the comfort zone, right? This is a place that you feel safe and you feel in control. Number two is the fear zone. You find excuses, you lack self-confidence, you're worried what others might think about you. And so I want to use the example of, I met Chelsea and Jessica for the first time, I I think it was like Monday or Tuesday of this week, literally. On Sunday, I had just literally a week ago, I just finished surfing, and someone from my team, Adam, he texted me and said, hey, I just met and talked to Chelsea and Jessica, and they have this incredible festival, and it's next Sunday, and I think it would be great if we gave a talk at it. And immediately I go from my comfort zone, I just finished surfing, now into this fear zone, right? I'm finding all of these excuses. I'm lacking self-confidence. I'm like, I only have a week to prepare. How am I going to talk for an hour with a week to prepare? And, you know, what if I suck? And what are other people going to think about me? And maybe it's not the right festival for Seek Discomfort and all of this stuff. And so I think we too often in our lives bounce back and forth between our comfort zone and our fear zone, and we lack what's below it. So I had the initial urge to just say, you know what, let me get back in my comfort zone. I was just going to say, I can't do it. It's only a week to prepare. I don't know anything about the festival. I don't know Chelsea or Jessica. But because of Seek Discomfort and the philosophy that, you know, I've developed and learned to live with here, I pushed through. And so once you push through your fear zone, you enter what we call the learning zone. This is where you deal with challenges and problems, you acquire new skills, and you extend your comfort zone. For me, this was, okay, how do I put together a presentation in 1 week when I have to run a company during that week as well? And so when you continue to push yourself into this learning zone, you end up in the growth zone. And once you get into the growth zone, this is where you conquer objectives, you set new goals, you find purpose, and you ultimately live out your dreams. And I think, you know, the whole concept of the Emergence Festival is creating the life of your dreams. And so I think this is a big key here where, you know, I think in the last talk, they were even talking about the cycle where fear will push you back into that place. And so I think like a lot of people do fall into, okay, I'm in my comfort zone. I get a stimulus that gives me fear or anxiety or discomfort, and I quickly jump back into comfort. And they even talked about it, whether it was like food or sex or you know, snoozing your alarm or whatever it might be, just go back to comfort. And so I think the whole idea of this philosophy is when you find that fear, to know that you can push through, and that on the other side of fear, there's beauty. There's the ability to learn, there's the ability to grow. And so this is really what the point is of Seek Discomfort. So another story that relates to me trying to prepare for this in a week, I was doing my morning meditation on Tuesday, and I sat down and I used the Calm app, and Tamara Levitt, she always like has some theme for the meditation. And this theme was called the Moth's Mistake. And she immediately started the meditation by saying, today we're going to talk about the deceptive nature of comfort. And I thought, oh my God, how did this happen to be on the Tuesday when all I could think about is what do I talk about and how do I educate people about the philosophy and everything like that. And at the end of the meditation, she read this story that I want to read to you guys because I just thought it painted the picture so clearly of what's going on here. So we're all searching for happiness, and we often seek it through forms of comfort. To each of us, comfort looks different. It could be alcohol, social media, snoozing your alarm, comfort food, your daily routine. The list goes on and on. When we reach for these remedies, there's often instant relief, but the pleasure is fleeting and the allure of comfort can deceive us. Consider the way moths tend to fly towards a flame. To the moth, the flame represents the captivating sensation of light, so they fly to the flickering glow. But this clearly is not a good choice. The moth seeks comfort, but the flame actually causes suffering. And so this is what we do as humans. We are pulled towards what appears comforting, but in fact is harmful. So it's up to us to use the skills of mindfulness and pay attention to how we respond to discomfort. So I heard this meditation and I was just like, wow, I gotta include this in my talk. This is really incredible. And so really to me, what I pulled out of this meditation and this story was that in our lives, we often prioritize short-term comfort over long-term happiness and fulfillment. We quickly jump back into our comfort zone when confronted with fear, instead of pushing through to find the beauty that lies on the other side. And that's what I talked about on the last slide, which was this balance and this cycle of comfort, fear, back to comfort, then fear, then back to comfort, without learning and without growing. So I thought that was pretty cool and timely that kind of came into my life at that time. So now to talk a little bit about what we came here to talk about. How do I turn my fear into fuel? So the first point is understanding that as humans, we naturally seek comfort. So think of the moth's mistake and the tendency we have to bounce back and forth between our comfort zone and our fear zone, right? So if you can kind of like set the stage to understand that, like, oh, okay, subconsciously, I'm gonna want to choose comfort, and that comfort might not be what's best for me if I want to learn and I want to grow and you want to create this life of your dreams. The second thing is bring this habit of choosing comfort from your subconscious mind to your conscious mind. So understand that, wait, okay, here's discomfort, here's fear, here's anxiety, and I have the opportunity consciously to make a decision. I can analyze, like, okay, is this an opportunity where maybe I do need to go back in my comfort zone, right? If you're hanging off the edge of the cliff, by all means, please get the hell back into your comfort zone, right? But if this is something where you're standing in line, you're waiting to get a coffee, and you look over and there's someone sitting in a chair drinking their coffee and they smile at you, right? And you all of a sudden get a little bit of fear or a little bit of discomfort. You think you want to go talk to them, but you're not sure, and what should I do? Bring that into your conscious mind and say, I have a decision. I can go make a new friend, or I can continue on my way. So I think the idea of befriending discomfort is really powerful. When discomfort comes knocking on your door, or fear or anxiety or whatever it might be, remember that you're moving in the right direction and that you have an opportunity to turn that fear into fuel. You can actually use it to power you forward and say, oh, okay, here's discomfort again. And discomfort is standing between me and the thing that I want in my life. And so I feel uncomfortable, I feel fearful, but I know that if I keep going this direction, I'm going towards meaning, I'm going towards purpose, I'm going towards the things that I want in my life. So lastly, don't do it alone. As you can see from kind of the picture that I tried to paint with Seek Discomfort and with Yes Theory, community is our #1 priority. It's really everything to us. Like, our goal is to create the largest family in the world. We want to create spaces like you guys have created with the Emergence Festival and with Chrysalis, where people feel comfortable to share and people feel comfortable to love and to take risk. And I think there's, a world full of people out there who are seeking these same things and will be there to support you. So when you're going after the things you believe in, and when you're trying to turn that fear into fuel, don't do it alone. Find people around you that can lift you up. And when the times are dark, they can help you. And when you're scared, they can be there for you. That's always been something that at Seek Discomfort and Yes Theory, we always focus on community. We have a golden rule at the company that community comes first. And so anytime we're making business decisions, we vet it against that and just think about, is this in the best interest of our community? So quick summary of turning your fear into fuel. #1, understand that our natural tendency is to seek comfort. #2, bring this habit from a subconscious to a conscious place and understand that you are in control and you can make a decision not to gravitate back to your comfort zone. #3, become friends with discomfort. When it comes knocking at your door, greet it with a smile, open the door, and have a conversation with it. #4, make a conscious decision to turn that fear that you might be feeling into fuel and use it to propel yourself forward into that thing that you want. And #5, don't do it alone. So I'm going to play a quick video. It's a little bit of a message from our founders, and then I want to go into an exercise to kind of put the Seek Discomfort philosophy into practice real time.
When you're a kid, you're never afraid to dream. You dream of becoming an astronaut, a doctor, or even a president, and you don't question whether it's possible. But as you grow up, you're told that your dreams are too crazy, and that what you truly want out of life is unachievable, and that you should be realistic. And a few years ago, when we decided to start this YouTube channel, that's what we were told. That it's too late, that we had no experience making videos, and that running a channel with several people will never work. And our answer was, why not try? Why can't we take the first step and see where that leaves us? We don't have to have all the answers today, but if we don't at least give this a shot once in our lifetime, we'll regret it forever. And so we stumbled, we failed, we cried, and there were times where we truly had no idea where to go.
We were stuck in our tiny little apartment with zero money in our bank account.
We could be doing so much stuff, but we literally don't have any money to just like get out of Montreal, get out of this apartment.
The struggle's real.
But to be honest, our wild dream wasn't to actually build a YouTube channel. Our dream was to create a platform that would inspire millions into action, inspire millions into realizing that growth and genuine happiness comes through overcoming adversity and taking chances, and that even if your ambitions are big, your first step has to be small. And this year, after hundreds of baby steps, our dream came true. But when we got there, we realized that it was never the actual moment of achieving the goal that gave us the joy we anticipated. But it's what we learned when we dared to be bold, brave, and compassionate. Our friend Ben Nenton from The Buried Life once told us that we're 40% more likely to achieve our dream if we write it down. And our chances increase even more if we tell the people around us about that dream. Because if we don't talk about them, no one can help us. So we now turn to you. What's your first baby step going to be towards your biggest dream?
So let's pull this back up. Let's give it a try. I want you guys to put the Seek Discomfort philosophy into action, and kind of with the preparation of that video, right? I'm going to give you guys like maybe 3 minutes, 5 minutes or so. I want you to, number one, start dreaming, right? Think of something that you've always wanted to do, something that exists outside your comfort zone, that, you know, it's deep in your gut. You've always wanted to do that hobby or try that thing, or maybe it's career related, or maybe it's related to your spirituality or whatever it might be. I want you to just think about that and dream big. And then number two, I want you to write it down. So just like we learned in that video, you're 40% more likely to accomplish your dream if you write it down. So whether it's on your phone, on the notes section, or a piece of paper, or anything you have, I want you to write it down. So I'm going to play a little music here and give you guys like a few minutes just to jump in and think about that dream that you have and write it down. And then when I stop the music, we can jump back in. Cool. So I hope everyone got something down, but I'm going to give you a few more minutes because number 3 on the list, I want under your dream now, I want you guys to write down 1, 2, or 3 small steps that will take you in the next month, or hopefully the next week, or hopefully the next few days towards your dream. And it can be super small things, right? If you want to acquire a new skill or a new hobby, you know, one step could be like, let's just Google more about it and learn, or anything like that. So I'll give you guys another few minutes here to write down those small steps. And then I'd love to hear from some people in the community. I'll share mine, and I'd love to hear from you guys as well. So I'll give you a few more moments here. Okay, so we don't have too much time here, and I want to leave time for questions if anyone has them. So I'll jump in here with starting the sharing, and then if anyone else feels inspired to share as well, I'd love to hear your guys' dreams. It was cool to look around and see everyone head down writing and all the thinking that was going on. So for me, when this year started, instead of doing what I typically would do, which would be creating my 2021 goals for the year, I actually sat down and created a 2021 bucket list. I think Yes Theory has been rubbing off on me. So one thing on my bucket list, I'll actually share 2 of them. So one thing was that I wanted to do yoga teacher training this year. It's something that I've always thought about. And if anyone has more info, I'd love to talk with them. But I've always done yoga just as a practice for myself. I love it. I love doing it and everything about that. I don't think I necessarily want to become a yoga teacher, but it's always been this thing since I started. You know, they end the class to say, if anyone's interested in teacher training, come talk to me after class. And I've always thought like, man, that would be cool, right? And so I wrote it down on my bucket list, and some of my steps to take action towards that were small. It was just like start to do research. I didn't know anything about it. So I now figured out that there's different types of training. There's 50-hour trainings, there's 200-hour trainings, there's part-time, there's full-time. I learned different places that do the training, different, you know, countries I can maybe travel to do the training. So I started to do my research, and my goal is to hopefully towards the end of this year, hopefully I can actually do it in person with the pandemic, hopefully going in the right direction. Another big goal of mine was I wanted to do dance classes with my girlfriend. Me and my girlfriend love to dance. And, you know, during the pandemic, like no bars, no weddings, like we haven't been able to dance. And so we always thought it would be funny, like, what if we just took hip hop dancing classes or salsa dancing classes? So I actually found an app called Steezy that does, like, they have like hundreds of dance classes. So me and my girlfriend are currently taking hip hop classes, which is super fun and funny. So yeah, I'd love it. If anyone in the group wants to just raise their hand through Zoom, Chelsea, maybe we can pick on a few people that want to share their dreams.
All right, we've got Plaxis Art. Go ahead and unmute yourself. I think you're still on mute. There we go.
I'm still on mute. Okay, sorry. Yeah, I was writing down, I want to complete the first million into charity with donating pieces of art of mine. this is a project I already started. And it's a very important thing for me to share, because if we are in a very good condition, we are blessed. And so it's very important for me to give something back to the community. And especially art is for me something to build intercultural bridges. So part of the project is I have like a charity which is in Africa. So it's called Childcare Africa. It's in Togo. So we build kindergarten, child schools, and for the children who have no parents, for example. And yeah, I want to invite Kathy, as we talked like a few hours ago. She wants to start a charity. I want to donate a piece of art for her. I was talking a few days ago, 2 days ago, to Greenpeace to give a piece of art with a penguin to them. And then I want to make a website. I want to make a website for this to give a live view about this project, to make it clear, transparent, open about the status quo, like how much money is raised for this charity project, what's about the projects. And I've also donated a piece of art for the German Stroke Foundation. So they are quite very different projects. What is very important for me, it's not like to give just for animals or just give for children or just going to Dubai or to wherever. It's for me, it's very important to bring a global idea about this. And I want to even to invite more people to be part of it. So yeah.
That's awesome. That's super inspiring.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for sharing. We have Autumn next. I don't know if your sound is coming through, but you're unmuted. You want to try unplugging your headphones? You might have to unplug them. Nope. Is it okay if we come back to you? Okay, let's have Sashel. Perfect.
I wrote down, so this whole weekend has been really helping me. I want to experience more freedom in my business and break through these fears. So I really want to put myself out there. So one of my goals is to do a live video on my own Facebook or on Instagram every day, even if it's for 5 minutes, to just talk to people and put myself out there, like share. I'm like, okay, so if I'm going to do that, I need to share right now, because that's also just giving myself that 2 minutes to go through my fear and be like, you know what? Oh, well, I don't care. I just need to do this right now. And so that's my goal, is to really just put myself out there and do it little by little every day, and to do something that makes myself happy, because I'm so good at pleasing other people and making them happy and putting them first. But I am terrible when it comes to self-care, putting myself first. So every day I want to do that video and do something for myself, at least for 30 minutes a day.
Love it. That's awesome.
Yeah. Thank you.
Autumn, let's try it one more time.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yep.
Okay, so one thing that's always been important to me is telling stories to other people and being able to inspire them. So I've some things I wrote down to get to tell my stories to people is to start a YouTube channel, because I've always just wanted to get out there and show people like the good in the world that that people don't see anymore. And then writing down my ideas for, like, I've always wanted to write a book. So writing stuff down and creating these stories that people can see in like a realistic way, so that they realize that stuff isn't impossible and that they can actually do it. And then also it's just getting input from other people, because I can be a very closed off person. And I think telling people about what I want to do and how I'm going to do it will really help me reach my goals and inspire others.
Amen. Love it.
Beautiful. Bryan, is it okay if we take one more? I think Amani wanted to say something, but I don't see.
Yep.
I don't see. Oh, there we go. Perfect.
Hey, thanks so much for your story, for sharing that information with us. So one of my visions has been to create a documentary on my hometown. I'm from a small town in California called East Palo Alto, which is near Stanford, which ironically is the home, like I think Facebook is headquartered there, as well as it's like right in the middle of Silicon Valley. But growing up, it was like an inner city, high crime area. So there's a story to be told in how like the gentrification has occurred, and the idea is to call it the last of the rogues. So people from East Palo Alto, we call each other rogue. That's like the sort of name we call each, natives are sort of called that. But there's only a few like families that are still there. So it's my idea, and I work in video, like I made videos my whole life. So it's in my wheelhouse, but I just have never really moved forward on the idea. And it's like a vision of mine to create a documentary telling the story of how this sort of high crime area that's right near Stanford University, right, near Facebook's headquarters, has sort of transformed from a high crime area to now it's very affluent. Like my dad's house is like appraised at like over $1 million when he bought it for like 70,000 back in the 70s. So I think there's a story to be told there. So that's one of my dreams. And the action that I could take to start making that happen is to research like stories of individuals who might be from there, who either they're folks that are like serving life in prison who are from my community, but find stories of individuals who maybe are still living there. There's only a few families there, but just starting to find or compile the stories of folks that can maybe tell a story about the community.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's really cool.
Beautiful. Well, everyone else just put theirs in the chat, because I think Bryan will give you the floor again so that you can kind of leave us with some words.
Sounds good. I'm going to throw my email in the chat right now. Let's see. Hold on one second here. Cool. I just put my email in the chat. So if anyone wants to chat more, feel free to shoot me an email. That's pretty much the end of what I had to talk about. If I could leave you guys with one thing, it would just be to remember that the best things in life and the most meaningful connections and relationships are outside of your comfort zone. So try and, when you are confronted with discomfort or fear or anxiety, make that conscious decision to find out what's on the other side. So I just want to say thank you so much to everyone, Chelsea, Jessica, the entire team, the tech team, and everyone that listened to my story and participated in sharing your dreams. I really appreciate it. And I'm just grateful to be able to talk with all of you and be a part of the festival here.
Bryan, thank you so much for being a part of this. Can everybody take themselves off of mute? Rub your palms together, generate some energy, give some love.
Ashta hey.
Ashta hey.
Ashta hey.
So good. Aww.
So much. Thanks, Chelsea.
Thank you. All right, that was awesome. You guys, we've been moving through talk after talk of just like amazing content here. This is insane. I love it. Okay, so I see Frank on here. Can we get his video co-spotlighted? That'd be awesome. There we go. All right. Frank, welcome to Emergence Festival. So Frank has founded 10 or more companies, raising cumulatively $15 million in his entrepreneurial visions. And he's most recently established a community in